Okay, so this might be working now. Hopefully it's working. So if it is, welcome back. I do sincerely apologise for those technical issues. I don't know what was going on there. Everything seemed fine on my end, but it just wasn't coming up for anybody at all. So again, huge sorry for that. But in the meantime, we're going to have Ardeo Red. They are not getting first pick and ban here. mCon did get that, as they are the losers of that first game. Ardeo Red going 1-0 up. So don't know if the entire game was missed or something like that, but yeah. Sky Temple, map number 1, did go to Ardeo Red. mCon now, on Cursed Hollow, going to look to equalise up the store, ban out the Falstad. Rhaegar gets banned by Ardeo Red. mCon then able to pick up the Zagara, hugely contested in general. Thrall, Diablos, the response picks. Ardeo Red used them so well last game, as they did the Brightwing and Jaina. Going to be picked up 4th and 5th. Sorry, 3rd and 4th. But before that had happened, the Grey Mane Johanna were picked up by mCon. Meant that there was an Uther ban, Li Ming ban, Karazhan pick, Brightwing Jaina pick, and then Karazhan Sonya the final pick. So mCon favouring the Sonya as a bruiser. They like going for that assassin. For that bruiser, that melee warrior who is good at dealing damage. They want somebody in the front line. So they're not content with the double tank. They're not content with the solo tank. They want to have a bruiser on top of having, standard assassins, Greymane, Zagara. So Ardeo Red, now they've got to decide what their last pick is. They've got a tank, they've got a support. Do they go double support? This is Cursed Hollow. This is a map where Global is amazing, Zagara is amazing, and Tyrande is amazing. Zagara for boss contention, Global because it's the biggest map in the game, so you can split soak all the lanes, you can move around, so Falstad Flight, Abatha for the soaking potentially, Brightwing for her Zed, and then of course you've got boss contention, which is super huge. Thrall's good for that, Zagara for that, ETC going to be the last pick up here for Ardeo Red. Going for that double proper tank lineup again, the double full-on tank warrior lineup. So definitely favouring that style of gameplay. mCon may look to in a future game potentially draft a Reina or something to counter that if that is the case. Because ETC is pretty good at contesting bosses. Who else did I say? Yeah, I mean Falstad already banned out, Zagara there. Not really too much to say, so hopefully the stream's working now. And this should all be sorted and updated, so everything is fine. I do apologise if we missed game number 1. Everything seemed fine my end. I have the recording for it. Everything was great. So obviously just some technical issues that were unbeknownst to me. So if there is anything not coming up on stream or anything like that, shout it out in chat. I am constantly having a quick little check over to make sure everything's working in chat. As I have an alarm going off in the background, apologies for that. Getting into the lobby now for both teams. I'll bring up the screen when we do. Right now, this is the draft for game number 2. This is on Cursed Hollow of this best of 5 Storm Swords Grand Finals between mCon and Ardeo Red. Ardeo Red taking game number 1. So yeah, just having a quick look here as to the team picks and why. I had to quickly re-sum it up to sort out the Twitch issues I was having, but hopefully that's all sorted now. I really like Ardeo Red's draft. I think Ardeo Red's draft is so solid. Like, Brightwing for the global presence, great. We may even see Emerald Wind come out of her for potential boss contention. Most likely not. Thrall Diablo, they were an absolute powerhouse last game, and I don't see them being anything different this game. Diablo with the Apocalypse, like, you try and contest a boss by sitting on there, Apocalypse is going to ruin your day. Similarly, Thrall Sundering is just really good for that. And they've got the ETC. We'll potentially see some good mosh pits. It's kind of a double even a quad even potentially, like, let me start again. It's like a triple melee lineup for mCon, potentially a quad lineup if the Greymane jumps in. So mosh pit could be huge here. We may even get like a double global presence though with a stage dive. which ETC can absolutely take because he's not a solo tank, so he doesn't have to provide all the lockdown. You've got Apocalypse and Sundering for this. Jaina going to lay some huge cover damage, as always. Most likely Mosh Pit, but I think a stage dive could be really, really good here. But that's not to be snuffed, because mCon, they have Zagara. And Zagara's so strong on this map. I mean, one, she's one of the best split pushers in the game. Like solo laner split pushers in the game. Two, she, with her Devouring Maw, is really, really good for contesting the boss. And Ardeo Red don't have any way of unstoppabling the Devouring Maw, other than potentially Lightning Breath from Diablo, which we won't see because... Oh wait, no, Lightning Breath gets disabled by Devouring Maw. Ice Block from Jaina is the only thing I can think of. So I prefer Ardeo Red's draft here, just because I think it's a little bit stronger overall, but mCon, they can absolutely win this out here. They do have a Zagara on top of, you know, having Greymane and a really, really good control tank in the form of that Johanna. Hopefully the Sonya will be able to do more this game, but we will have to see, because the Kharazim and Sonya will most likely be the focus in these fights. So everything's working. I'm actually just gonna throw straight into the lobby screen so we can all see what's going on here. Got a little bit of lags coming out from Ardeo Red, as not too sure as to what's going on and with their client. I've been having massive FPS and lag drops, so hopefully it'll all be stable and fix itself. We do have a patch coming in 3 days. So, probably not that. Pass him out on that Brightwing. Toothless support. Love it. Now this is really exciting for me to see Brightwing in not only one game of our grand finals, best of 5, Storm Swords, you know, all of that between mCon and Ardeo Red. Not only do I get to see Brightwing in game number 1, which is amazing because Brightwing is my absolute favourite support to play, full stop, like my favourite hero in the game to play. I've not played her in ages because she's been okay, but she's not been amazing. But not only do I get to see her in game 1, see her played really well, I get to see her in game 2 as well. 2 games in our grand finals. Ardeo Red, they're comfortable with the support. They like how she plays, they like the utility she provides, and her healing is nothing to be sniffed at all, like shunned, because she out-healed the Uther, which I would say isn't saying that much, but like, you know, Brightwing's always going to out-sustain heal practically every support other than like Kharazim and maybe Rhaegar. But it's the fact that the Uther was able to get all his heals off to full effect, because Sonya was always the focus there. And it meant in that game number 1, it meant that Uther's healing numbers were slightly higher than you'd potentially expect if it had been a more even game. But Ardeo Red, with their full-on focus, they were flawless. I think in game number 1, I say flawless. They made a few mistakes. It's just the So I'm just quickly reading something. Yeah, it's just that they were able to close it out. When it actually came to some of the team fights, like the later game ones, they lost 1 or 2 team fights, but the rest they basically executed how they needed to, and that was everything. Just making sure everything's sorted. Make sure we're not dropping any frames, which we're not. There's no break music. Oh, Twitch is broken again? I'm gonna have to refresh this because it seems fine with me. Yeah, quick look. Still 9 out of 10 ready. Stream offline again? I mean, it'd be typical if the one time we're able to do this. Twitch is broken, so we can't stream. Try and load this up though, so if I drop a couple frames, it's because of that. I do apologise. No, everything seems good for me. Yeah, I can hear everything. Alright, cool. Cool, everything's great. Just waiting on one person. Everything's not broken. Yeah, throw the link in chat. So we've got some mum nudes up in chat here, in game. Just waiting for this to start. We have 10 out of 10 ready, so we can go now. So gonna say good luck, have fun in game because they'll be able to see all that way more easily. As finally we're gonna have, sorry for the delay there, we're gonna have this game 2 on Cursed Hollow of the grand finals best of 5 between mCon and Ardeo Red start on the loading screen. It's not actually started, it's on the loading screen, but Ardeo Red won game number 1 with almost identical composition to what they have now. They swap out the ETC for Johanna and that's what they had. Ardeo Red just, played not flawlessly, but were able to beat out mCon even when mCon was starting to take advantages. So that worked out really, really well for them though. mCon, very similar draft as well here. They had Uther instead of Karazim, and they had Muradin instead of Johanna, and Falstad instead of Zagara. So kind of they've got the Greymane and the Sonya, and they're quite prevalent when it comes to draft. They have these two big important people in the fight. The Greymane, actually, Archie on that Greymane did so well. He did so much damage. But finally, we're going to get into this. Game number 2, as we have a pause immediately. It's going! It's going! Everybody, it's going! Okay, great. We're going to have mCon, the blue team on the left. We're going to have Semi-Azaz playing that Johanna. Archu on that Circus Greymane. Praedin playing Karazim. Zagara, played by Solid S&D. And Philibuk on that Sonya. And for the red team, Ardeo Red. Let's get into this as quick as possible! Better Pro on that Master Skin Thrall. We're going to have Muko on Diablo, Jarflip on that Lunar Festival Jaina, Patimat, Team Captain on that lovely Toothless Skin Brightwing, and finally Fluffy Milky playing that ETC, the cow, Milky and Fluffy as he is, getting into this. And, yeah, gonna have, not really, potential gank squad in mid here for Ardeo Red, so I'm going crazy with the camera, I'm like, woo! But we do have 3 members down bottom as Zagara, bringing out those roaches, gonna get some damage done to this bottom lane, and in fact already take a tower, potentially going for 2 as they're not being contested here. Greymane going up against 4, gonna be able to do some cover damage. Diablo falling really low, he might die. No, he's not going to. He's barely not going to fall on that. So Miko maybe getting a bit risky. They've still not taken this this tower. So mCon in a good spot. Finally, we're getting the chain lightning's going to come out, clean up the rest of that tower, and the fort's taking damage on this bottom lane already. Here, mCon really, really aggressive with their stance. We've got Diablo coming down, plus the ETC. ETC's going to come and get Ancient Spear to allow the Sonya to retreat. And we have a half level, like a big experience advantage out for mCon. Going to have some latency issues on my end, so I do apologise for that. If anything bad happens, just let me know in chat, everybody. Just bear with me, as Patimat's going to fall, actually. He's fallen really low on that Brightwing, and Fluffy Milky's in a bad spot as well. He's going to have to try and power slide his way away. Does so, but it might be too little too late. No, he is going to be able to get out of this, and so I'm not using the camera at all, trying to sort out any technical issues. Bear with it. Okay, so I'm getting some technical issues with latency. I'm not too sure why. Might be on my end. I may have to restart some stuff, but no, it's all good. We've got Philibert here on that Sonya. Diablo. I mean, this bottom lane, this has been won by mCon. They are over half a level ahead. They're having a great time. Jaina versus the Johanna is not going to really go too well for either. Fluffy Milky is finally on this ETC to take over. That's Soak. And Archu, actually, on that Greymane, is being poked down quite happily by the Thralls. Benapro taking a good advantage in this top lane. They've taken one tower and this entire wall, so that's nice for them. It's just they've not. They are still down half a level. Like it's a full level now. mCon, they've just done so much. As the healing well not going to be able to be used for another 30 seconds on that Greymane. As Fluffy Milky actually is getting initiated on by mCon, they're not going to be able to do anything about it. Zagara versus Brightwing in this bottom lane. Pretty okay for the Brightwing, but the Zagara's not going to have a hard time at all. As this first tribute has spawned down in the bottom. Most likely going to go the way of mCon, as they are in a strong position to do this. Patamount and the Brightwing going to be able to contest that first channel by Solid S&D. Zagara not going to be interrupted the second time, as mCon take this, and potentially it's a favourable fight, although Philibert falling really low, going to get power sliders, so he's being stunned out, dodges the blizzard from Jaina, really well played there. The overpower comes down, going to be able to clean up the Sonya as a result, but the Johanna's in the middle of all 5 of the opposing team. Greymane, the only one who's not joined this fight. Johanna going to end up falling as well, so Ardeo Red coming back. They're going to take these towers as well with the siege camp in this bottom lane. It's 2 for 2. Brightwing's middle damage. Like, the middle damage of the Arcane Flare on Brightwing just does so much, and Patamat on that Brightwing going to be able to, heal himself up quite happily with his passive. Greymane doing what he can to the walls, while not looking to potentially initiate and engage on him, even though he quite happily could. It's just going to be one tower down. So equal-ish experience. In fact, as a result of those 2 kills, mCon are behind, even though they had the Greymane soaking top the entire time. So I'm not too sure as to how Ardeo Red have kind of clawed back that experience deficit that they were on, but they were absolutely on a full level deficit. And they didn't get the tribute, they got 2 kills, and they lost soak on lane. So somehow they've clawed it back, and this is really, really well played by them to have done so. As we have siege camp taken up top here by mCon, as they try and channel their second tribute. Not going to be able to do so. Johanna's potentially in a bad position. She unstoppables herself. Going to get knocked back by the ETC. The Jaina Blizzard coming down. Not really doing too much damage. Jaina's going to be the focus here. But from the Greymane, going to absolutely blow her up. Now Greymane just going ham on the Thrall and the toothless Brightwing there. Brightwing going to fall. Most likely going to get knocked back by the ETC. Not quite able to pick her up. And there goes the cocktail out from the Greymane. Guaranteed explosion on level 7, and that's going to kill off the Brightwing. So, this time, 2 kills in favour of mCon as they go back to their half-level lead that they had. And going to take more towers. And, yeah, this is going to mean that mCon are winning this race to 10. They should get 10 first, and this should be really, really favourable for them in terms of the rest of this game. Zagara running herself into a little bit of a hole. The Kharazim trying to keep her alive as long as possible, not able to do so. Archu's staying kind of nearby for that dash and strike target, but he's going to have to run himself to safety as Kharazim. He's dead. He's just going to get picked up here. And 2 counter kills with that nice wraparound, making the experience practically even. But this is going to be quite potentially a curse in favour of mCon, as Ardeo Red not even going for this. They're actually going to go start their boss, and Archu's going to scout this out here. He's going to see this happening, and they know that there's nothing that they can do to contest this. Unless the Zagara comes up immediately with her Devouring Maw, they can't contest this. Sonya's going to channel that tribute, so that's going to be a curse in favour of mCon. Boss in favour of Ardeo Red, and this boss has now started for mCon, and Ardeo Red, they can quite easily come down to contest this. They will have 10 by the time they get down here, but no, they're going to kind of split up and go to defend these lanes. The fort's dead in bottom quite happily, and this wave going to have to be cleaned up by the Thrall. Bit of a wasted kind of curse for first kind of, 20 seconds here by taking this boss, not doing anything. Maybe going to be another 10 seconds to go back to lane. So, mCon wasting half of their curse. I say wasting. They used half of their curse to take the counter boss, but this means Boss is going to get fought in top lane, most likely. And they either need to push with this and take this wall, or the keep, which won't happen in the next 20 seconds. Or they're going to be, or they're going to have lost out on experience. In fact, they are down, despite having the curse in their favour. Down on experience, they don't get the level to 11 first. It does finally pop now. Clean up the wave. We're going to have overpower on Semi-Azaz, so Johanna is absolutely fine. She's very, very tanky. Level 10 is reached both teams. We've got to have Lightning Breath instead of Apocalypse on the Diablo. I hope that's a misclick, because Lightning Breath is terrible. Maybe the Diablo proved me wrong here. We're going to have an amazing mosh pit almost coming down the ET. Going to get stunned out before it goes off. Only goes on that 10-second cooldown that it does. Johanna going to get blown up immediately, though, by the huge amount of damage coming out of the Thrall and the Jaina. Good Divine Palm on the Zagara, but she's going to have to be the sacrificial lamb here. She does have to, she is going to get picked up regardless. Kaz and Greymane and Sonya just getting out of that with their lives. Boss did loads of damage to the keep. In fact, almost took it down. That did way more than I thought it was going to. And if they take a keep down like this early on, that would be huge for mCon. That would be so big. But they're down half a level. They need to try and get level 13 at about the same time, if not ahead. There's this big creep wave up in top that they could clear out quite handily. But they need to defend this middle lane first, as Johanna moving in, trying to do some disruption. But the Brightwing's there to cover her 2 tanks. Get that pixie dust on. Keep the retreat nice and fast. That's a really, really good disengage there by Ardeo Red. mCon looking to kind of just take this fort mid. They are currently have a numbers advantage. Thor finally coming in, equalising it up. But if they take this, then they have an experience. They kind of equal up on the experience. They still need to take that wave up in top. I think that's being pushed out naturally by their creep wave, which has kind of gotten a bit bigger, so they've lost our experience there. And yeah, devouring more. I actually didn't see it go off in that last fight. I obviously did, but coming off cooldown now, so potentially be able to make some sort of fight or contention happen. Solid S&D not splitting up and pushing with that Zagara. Keeping with the team, it's 5 versus 5 is basically what's going on. They're just, the teams are grouped up, and Fluffy, Milky and Brightwing need to be careful here. It is a 5v4 as Diablo did Hearthstone back. But he'll be there in time in case a fight does happen. Is that a graphical bug on my end? Did he actually take Lightning Breath? No, he actually took Lightning Breath, okay. So, 4-2 the game spawning. It's going to be up in this top left section, so an absolutely fine place for mCon to contest this. They're not going to, though. They're not even going to give it much of an attempt. They're just going to go and try and soak experience. They've lost their talent point down, so they don't want to risk this. And they've obviously also got to clean up this siege camp happening down in the bottom lane. And it's not an important tribute, so they're absolutely fine with doing this. Now, Johanna's going to get caught out here. She should just be able to walk her way out of this, and I think that we are going to... I mean, we almost had a really good mosh pit here, but I think we're going to have a fight happening anytime soon. Philibak on that Sonya wrapping round. Can potentially look for the engage. She goes in on the Diablo, doing a lot of damage. The power side almost comes in, but oh my god, there's a huge devouring maw. That's on 4 of them. Jaina, the only one not in it. Gonna have the stun coming out from the Johanna onto them. The mosh pit coming down, landing on 3, doing so much work. Thrall's all not gonna pick up the Zagara, but the lightning breath coming down on top of that. The Karazin with a really, really good divine palm, saving himself out, but the Sonya and the Zagara are the follow-up kills. Thrall's the only one dead so far. The Diablo's gonna be that equalizer, but then they pick up the Karazin. And Ardeo Red taking that fight. They got 4-man devouring ward, but the ETC mosh pit was just about to, able to land on 3, and that was huge. That absolutely turned that around for them, and this is what I'm talking about. They can't be caught in a mosh pit, otherwise they lose a fight. The lightning breath did stuff, but it didn't feel like it did a lot of stuff. It looked pretty cool though, so you know I'm happy to eat my words. He's actually 2nd damage for the side of Ardeo Red. 4th in the game as Zagara and the Graham have just done so much damage this game so far. Again, Sonya not really finding any opening. As this boss for Ardeo Red spawns up in the top, we're going to have the one down here for mCon, and potentially going to be attempted to be taken here. We're going to have Benapron, that Thrall, looking to maybe set up a party bush. Just going to double check we've got shield dust coming out, which is actually pretty good versus the Zagara / the cocktail from the Greymane. Again, it's not as much value as I think Ice Block potentially would be. But still, it could quite well be enough. That's a really, really good Zed happening there. Pataman knows he's going to get the cooldown reduction because he's low on health, and that vision that he's just giving means that that area is Ardeo Red's. So Mosh Pit's still on cooldown for another 20 seconds. This tribute could absolutely be a fight we see, but mCon, they're being sneaky here. They're being a bit naughty. They're going up and to take Ardeo Red's boss. mCon, if they get this will put them in a huge advantage because they could just come straight down and contest this. So Zagara's here, so she's going to try and stall this out. Going to be able to do so for a little bit. Boss taken as everyone backs up, going for this. Now, mCon, they're in such a good defensive position for this boss. Wrath and Berserker, the only heroic on cooldown. It's not going to be enough. Curse against mCon doesn't really matter. They're not fussed. They've got the boss. And yeah, Johanna, unstoppable. She's going to get Shadow Charged and overpowered. Probably a dead Johanna here. Can't save her out. They're going to allow her to be sacrificed here. And with this curse, Ardeo Red are going to push into this. They're going to take the fort mid. Probably won't end up getting the fort bottom, and Zagara is here to defend this. She just needs to use a bunch of her minions to do so. And this wall in middle is going to go in favour of Ardeo Red. They're going to take that down quite handily. It's not attacking at all. They can even fight under this keep, potentially taking that. They've got 30 seconds left on their curse. So much time. I'm going to have a quick look at the level 16 talents here for everybody. Again, we're going to have Chris Rise not. The other one, I've forgotten the extended critter. The extended polymorph timing. Greater polymorph. There you go. Oh, the power slide coming through by the ETCs. You're actually going to get the mosh pit off only on the Zagara. Going to get interrupted immediately by the Sonya. The lightning breath coming down, killing off the Sonya despite having the divine palm on her. Ends literally at the last possible second. Another good power slide coming through. The devouring maw lands on 2. Really, really good play. The Thrall's just getting kited around by the Greymane, the Zagara. The Johanna doing really, really a lot of work to keep him controlled. They're all going to die. Brightwing, who jumped onto Thrall to keep him alive, is going to be the follow-up kill. You have the Greymane use Disengage in order to get back into the fight to try and chase down the opponents. Jaina's Frostbolt build not doing enough to cover the retreat there. She's going to get picked up. There, the Johanna come down, controlling her up. The Icebox delaying the inevitable. And that is going to be a one fight for mCon. They lost their keep in mid, though. That's the important part. They've lost their middle keep. They've still not cleaned up this bottom keep, which they absolutely can do. And they're just going to go and take their boss. This boss will take the middle keep, and they'll be fine with this. So the bottom keep, they'll be fine with this. They can push in and take that middle fort, as Ardeo Red have to... Well, I say they have to. They need to defend up against it, otherwise it's going to do a little bit of damage to the core as well. And they're slightly behind on experience, but not much. I'd like to see them clear up this wave in mid, as this is going to keep pushing, since there's no keep here. The catapults are spawning. But in fact, mCon are just going to push with their boss. They may even look to end the game here, as they have all of their heroics up. More will be up in 10 seconds after before Mosh Pit. So they're a bit of an advantage here. They've got 4 heroics versus 3 here. Blink heal doesn't really count, so it's really versus 2 proper heroics. Again, kind of similarly, Wrath of Berserker doesn't count. The keep falls down in bottom. They do have a bruiser camp, though, pushing against them in mid. mCon, they either need to win this fight or defend, and looks like they're going for this fight. Johanna's still in this front line. She's just taking some damage. She's trying to control the team, looking for an opening to go in. Mosh Pit's now off cooldown. Wrath of Berserker, the only thing still on, but Sonya Berserker out. Good devouring maw, landing on 1. Knocking down the Thrall for the start of this. There goes the Mosh Pit, but it's going to get immediately interrupted. The Lightning Breath not really doing anything, not able to pick up the Zagara. The range isn't enough. Zagara is going to end up falling, though. I believe it was the Thrall just doing enough. Archer on that Greymane just about getting away, but no, he's going to get picked up by the power sliding ETC. Philibert on the Sonya getting controlled up too much. He's going to die. And I can't believe it. The Karazim getting picked up. Johanna's going to be the last and final death, and there's a full level advantage for Ardeo Red. They've got 30 seconds to just go and slam in on this core, which has already taken some damage. They might just look to go and end the game here. I don't know how any of them didn't die, but I believe the focus was just on the ETC and the Diablo. There wasn't a good enough devouring war. And they may be taking game number 2. Yeah, they're just going straight in for this. They're going to try and race this down. 87% on the core. The shield's gone almost immediately. mCon throwing out the well played. As they know this is gone. Game number 2 goes in favour of Ardeo Red. So well played to them. GG. It looks so promising for mouse controller for mCon, sorry, at the start of the game, but weren't quite able to close out that last fight. Like I said, they needed to defend or fight, and they didn't defend. They lost the fight hugely. If they'd even picked up 2 kills, that would have been fine, but they didn't. They didn't pick up a single kill that last fight, and that was it. That was game over. So well played to them, to Ardeo Red. Commiserations to mCon, but they're still not out. This is a best of 5, so we're potentially going to have a last game coming up here, and if not the last game, then it will be it's setting out the series, basically. 2-0 to Ardeo Red, this best of 5, and Keratin still, even a Keratin's not able to keep up with Patamat's Brightwing healing. Do so much work there. Fluffy Milk on the ATC didn't actually die that entire game, which is kind of surprising. A quick look at the talents here. No level 20 was reached.